couple of players there to help him. Keeping it away there in spite of the bloody nose. A minute to go. James O'Connor, will this be the winner? It may be! James O'Connor!
After many years in the wilderness, the mid-90s saw the Banner County capture 2 All-Ireland titles brought about by former star Gerlach Nan. As a player, he had experienced 5 Munster final defeats before retiring in 1987 after Clare's defeat to Tipperary in the Munster semi-final replay. Ironically, it was that year that saw Tipperary and Nicky English emerge as the new provincial kings in Munster after a 16-year absence.
To Pat Fitzell, inside to Michael Doyle, this to wrap up the Munster final. Yes, a goal!
Under Babs Keating, the Premier County went on to win 3 Munster titles in succession, as well as 2 All-Ireland hurling crowns in 1989 and again in 1991. For neighbours Clare, however, things weren't as bright with Munster final defeats in 1993 and 1994. However, the breakthrough wasn't far away.
Fergal Hagerty, aware that he might have been hooked, going for the score. It's there! Clare are certainly home and dry.
1995 saw Clare finally return to the promised land after 63 years. The question was, could they now go all the way?
We haven't played as well as we could in the first half. However, we've been against the wind. So now the game is going to be won now in the next 35 minutes. And I've just asked him to give him that last ounce for Clare for these 35 minutes.
You think you're going to do it?
We're going to do it.
Free is swung in there, batted down for the goalkeeper. It's a goal! It's a goal by Evan Trapp! Clare are in front!
The curse of Biddy Early had been consigned to history. In 1997, Gerlach Nan's side captured their second All-Ireland title in 3 years, with victory over Tipperary, both in Munster and in the All-Ireland final.
The mission was to show that we're no longer the whipping boys of Munster.
Clare and Tipperary's most recent meeting was the league semi-final in May, victory going to the Premier County. After many a battle on the field, it was the first time Nicky English and Gerlach Nan faced each other as opposing managers. Now they meet again, hoping to guide their respective counties on the road to All-Ireland glory. Pick a winner, toss a coin. Well, maybe my studio guests will be able to make a more accurate stab at it than that. Tomás Mulcahy is here, and so too is Cyril Farrell, and we'll be hearing their views a little bit later on. But now whoever wins and loses, well, I have no doubt there will be plenty of talking points from this game. And if you want to do the talking yourself to us on the phone, then don't forget Pat Spillan's Monday feedback slot on our Game on Monday programme of tomorrow afternoon. 1850 200 620 is the number to ring if you want to push your comments through to Pat. And if you're calling from the north, it's 0845 309 8117. And those phone lines are open from 7 o'clock this evening. Now, the email address is sundaygame@rte.ie. Well, as I said earlier, what a decade it's been for both counties since Declan Carr lifted the Liam McCarthy Cup in 1989 indeed. Great days for Tipperary. But since then, well, Clare hurlers also know what it's like to lift the big trophy.
Clare are the champions of Ireland once again. What a magnificent day for them.
Anthony Daly, Clare's most successful hurling captain, but now there's a new challenge.
Well, since the last weekend in October last year, the draw was made, and there's been no other date on our minds since then, only the 6th day of June 1999, and every player and every mentor has geared themselves towards the 6th of June, and we're thrilled now that it's here. A huge game, obviously, from everybody's point of view, but particularly, I suppose, from Clare people and Tipperary's point of view, because rivalry has built up over the last few years, since '93, really that has been unprecedented, really, between Clare and Tip, because traditionally they would have had the better of those clashes, and we've won the last 3 now, and I'm sure Tip are itching to get revenge for those 3, so Sunday's game takes on a whole new meaning, really.
When Clare were last belting in balls in the championship at the Tip defence, Paul Shelley was a powerhouse, but now he has a new role against Brian Lohan.
Things are going to be very difficult for me, like Mark and Brian. Like he's the best fullback in the country, and I'm just going to win. There's no pressure on me though, and I'm going to win and hopefully give him a good game, like, you know. And Brian is twice as strong as me nearly, you know, and I mean, if I don't get the right ball in, basically I'll be at nothing, you know. And basically, I suppose my job is to stop Brian from hurling, you know. And I mean, he gives a great lift to the Clare team, and if I can do that, I'll be happy enough.
Declan Carr knows the taste of championship success, but after years out of the panel, he's back chasing the dream. But why?
I suppose really curiosity, you know, to find out if there was another year left, or if there was a few more miles left on the clock. And I suppose it is a drug really, hurling, and you know, the buzz about the games and stuff like that. So it was nice just to throw your hat into the ring one more time and see what it was going to be like.
No, we're very aware that because we beat Tip twice in '97, they're itching for revenge. And but our people feel that we've lost against Tip for long enough over the years, and we want to stay on top now. So this match is a huge, huge game for all the players, supporters, mentors, for everybody from Clare. It's just a massive occasion, and it's one we desperately don't want to lose.
It certainly will take a lot out of them if they lose. You know, and Tipperary need to make that breakthrough again. You know, they've gone through a couple of lean years, so it's very, very important for both sides.
Yeah, so Paul Shelley and Anthony Daly will be very much part of the action right from the start today, but I feel that you'll see Declan Carr in the fray at some stage as well. But one battle that is almost definitely going ahead at Páirc Uí Chaoimh this afternoon is between Paul Shelley and Brian Lohan. Now, we've just heard Paul Shelley a few moments ago talking about that, telling us what a strong man and great hurler Lohan is. But Tomás Mulcahy has been standing back and taking a neutral view of this big tussle.
Yes, it is regarded as one of the key battles today. Paul Shelley giving away 4 inches in height advantage to the leader of the Clare defence, Brian Lohan. A very, very competitive full forward. He will make life very difficult for Brian Lohan this afternoon. This could be Brian Lohan's hardest hour, and in my opinion, if he keeps his head, he's well capable of dominating this match as he has done in the past. Strong on the ball, he loves to burst out from the tackle, but I'm sure if Paul Shelley misses him today, there will be others to follow through. Paul Shelley never too far from the action, and the result of this match to me today could hinge on Brian Lohan dominating the square, because he is the leader of the pack, he is the strength of the Clare defence, and if Paul Shelley is to get the upper hand, it might swing Tipperary's way. A game that most hurling followers are waiting to see. The result of this duel will be crucial to today's result.
Yes, the edge of the square will not be a place for the faint-hearted today in Cork. But mind you, there will be few places around the pitch where there'll be too much time for admiring the flags in the crowd. The battle between Declan Ryan and Sean McMahon is another key to this match, or at least that's the view of Cyril Farrell, who's looking now at this particular pairing.
The duel between two hurling giants, Declan Ryan and Sean McMahon. High ball coming down. Here we see Shawnee whipping it first time away on the ground. Declan Ryan showing exceptional skill, whips it up on his right hand, and a good hand pass bringing players into play. Here again, Declan wins the duel race to the ball, and on his right side scores a great point. He's going to need plenty of them today. And to show that he's not bad in his left either, he follows up with a fantastic score from 55 yards out, left straight over the bar. Here again we see Declan showing exceptional skill, trapping the ball down against the ground, holding off 2 or 3 Claremen and using a very good hand pass out to Declan Ryan, another score for Tip. Shawnee McMahon, a colossus in the Clare defence and great from long range points. Good man under the ball, great to tidy up and then to clear in a very tight situation. Again, he can read the situation, lets the ball beat him on the inside, goes back, collects it and clears on his left-hand side. Whoever can win this duel will have a big bearing on the outcome today.
Good, well, as you can see in the monitor here behind me, that's the scene in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Teams not out onto the pitch, yes, to be due out very shortly. But Cyril Farrell, I mean, it's stating the obvious to say that this is one of the big battles of the summer of '99.
Yeah, it promises to be, like, since the draw was made, it's the one everyone's been looking forward to, with no disregard to any other teams. Like, and the rivalry has really built up, and it's going to be a cracker. I'd say the pitch is in far better condition than it was the last day. Both teams are really tuned to the hilt. Clare didn't really take the lead that serious. They're trying to, you know, plug the 1 or 2 gaps that in it. Nicky English and the Tip team had to take it serious, so serious in fact that they went out and won the actual league, so they're in great shape, and it's going to be a thriller.
Traditionally in Munster, Tomás, it was Cork and Tip were the two big guns, but through the 90s it's Clare and Tipperary now who've been going head to head, and this is the background to this match here today. Certainly, I mean, we've said all along that Clare have brought the game to a new level. They've brought the standard of fitness to a new level, they've brought the standard of hurling, and it's great for the game of hurling. Obviously Tipperary are back today to try and avenge their 3 last defeats, but I mean, all the preparation they've done over the last 6 months, the running up the hills, I mean, we've heard about the boxing gloves maybe last Tuesday night in Thurles. I mean, this is all down today to the 70 minutes of hurling, and I mean, we might expect a hard and physical game, but I think the team that actually holds its head at the end of the day, they'll actually look at taking the right options, will win this match, because it's going to be very, very close. Well, you see, this is the thing, Cyril. I mean, people talking about this match say there's going to be skin and hair flying today. Could it get out of hand?
I don't think so.
Given the yellow card and red card thing, we thought this might happen last week and it didn't.
Yeah, Dickie Murphy is probably the most experienced referee we have, and he uses common sense a lot. Now, a lot will depend on how he referees it, Michael. If he's very, very strict, the game may not flow at all, and I think it probably would suit Tip if he was very, very strict. If he lets it really flow, becomes kind of man-to-man stuff, I think it'll suit Clare. And early on, the first 2 minutes, you're going to find out how he's going to do it. I know he has to follow the rules, but a lot of common sense will come into it. And like, it's a big one for Dickie Murphy as well. The whole, like, the yellow cards have worked fairly well. Last Sunday they worked very well, and I think it'll be a great game. Sometimes though, when a game is built up, there can be an anticlimax. Yeah. There's terrible pressure, like Tomás has heard about, you know, boxing gloves being used, all different kinds of psychology, but a lot is going to depend. The team that holds its composure under pressure will win the game. See, the thing about it is, Tomás, that because there's so much at stake in this match, the physical side of it will be important. I mean, Tip have been saying during the week, talking to some of the players, you know, we're going to match them on the physical stakes. Yes, I mean, and we said that maybe over the last number of weeks previewing this game, that like Nicky picking his team was going to go to match Clare's physical strength, and maybe that surprised me this week then to see the omission of Declan Carr from his starting lineup, because I had him gauged down as being a key man in midfield to take up on the likes of Colin Lynch and Ollie Baker, and that surprised me to see his omission. But obviously the Tipperary background team has seen Conor Gleeson playing. They've played a lot of challenge matches over the last number of weeks as well, and he's come through that with flying colours as well. I mean, Tipperary's bench is very, very strong today. They have quality players in the likes of Eugene O'Neill, Aidan Ryan, waiting to come in at the fray, you know. So I'm sure we're going to see the substitute bench being used to its full today as well. Well, the Tip team, as you can see for yourselves, coming out onto the pitch. There's Nicky English, an anxious man. A big, big day for him today, of course. Let's join George Canning.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Páirc Uí Chaoimh. 43,000 people are here this afternoon. They've been the lucky ones to get the all-important tickets. Tip, as you see, first out here. A county with a wonderful record, 36 Munster titles, 24 All-Irelands, the last in 1991. And they today presented with the absolute challenge to fashion a victory over the team of the 90s. They haven't been Munster champions since 1993, when they had an easy win over Clare that day down in Limerick. They won by 18 points. Clare have never forgotten that, but they did get revenge the following year in 1994. The team captain this afternoon is Tommy Dunn, playing in his 15th championship match this afternoon. And Tommy looking forward to a duel with the opposing captain, Anthony Daly of Clare. It's a lovely, bright, summery day here. On the face of it, there are no championship newcomers for Tipperary, but that is by virtue of a 4-29 to 2-6 win over Kerry in round one a fortnight ago. It's a huge occasion for Donnacha Fahy and Fergal Heaney in the full back line, while David Kennedy and Eamon Corcoran can expect a searching examination from Clare's half forwards. Tommy Dunn, as we saw, the young Tiger, leads the team, which features the mature talents of John Lahey and Declan Ryan. 65 championship matches between them so far, and the very fresh-looking Paul Shelley in there at full forward. Yes, that should be a wonderful duel between Shelley and Brian Lowen this afternoon. The crowds have been in here since about 12 o'clock. We've already had an intermediate match involving both counties, and there was a very easy win there for Tipperary by 324 to 7 points. Clare had 2 backs dismissed during the second half in that game. But I was mentioning it's a lovely, fresh, summery day here. The pitch in much better condition than 7 days ago. Tommy Lynch and his team of ground officials here can take the credit for all of that. As you can see, packed to capacity. And a match everybody is eagerly looking forward to seeing. Let's hope it's not an anti-climax. Very often when we build up these great games, doesn't always work out like that. But now, it's the turn of Clare. The most talked about, most written about team of the decade, built upon a brilliant defence, but a team superbly led by Gerlach Nan, the former right half back. And they've won 2 All-Irelands and 3 Munster titles, and poised to win a place in the Munster final now for the 6th time in 7 years. But the fans may not have got the bad news yet. Ollie Baker is not starting the game. He's out with an injury. He's able to take a place on the bench, and Ger Loughnane was telling me that if he had to come in, then he would be able to come in and make some kind of contribution. There had been a great doubt about him, and sadly that doubt has resulted in bad news for the fans of the Banner County. And they've taken up station way up there on the city end of Porkyqueeve. David Ford in there. David, who scored a goal here in 1987 against Tipperary in the Munster final that day. And this man, Ger Loughnane, who's led them throughout the 90s, enjoyed little success in All-Ireland or Munster level. In fact, no success in All-Ireland or Munster level during his playing days, but he's done a remarkable job as coach. So Clare, the Munster champions, are entrusting their defence of the provincial title to a team with a collective total of 202 championship appearances. Brian Quinn now comes in at right corner back, and there's a debut for Enda Flannery in midfield as Ollie Baker is unable to start. And of course Anthony Daly, the captain, he plays his 26 championship matches, and championship appearances sounds fine where the forwards are concerned, but in the forwards James O'Connor makes 21 of that total, and the rest make up just 33. Barry Murphy and Stephen McNamara have been used very sparingly in recent years, and they're now in the full forward line alongside Alan Markham. So that is the fantastic scene. Colin Lynch then, what a job he's got this afternoon. He'll be partner to Enda Flannery, but so many people make the point that Ollie Baker is very much the senior partner in the past in that duo of Baker and Lynch. So now the more experienced Colin Lynch will have to aid Enda Flannery in midfield and lift this Clare team, presented with, I'm sure, a big challenge by a psyched-up Tipperary side. They were in first in here, coming in around 2:30. They looked a bit tense. Certainly Nicky English looked fairly tense. Clare were doing their bit to try and show them with the experience that they are a more relaxed side heading into this. And we're going to take a little look now at the two managers involved, and in fact we're going to start with Tipperary. Nicky English talking with Kieran Muldooley.
Nick English, firstly, any team news, any injury problems? How are you fixed for today's game?
No, we play as selected. Everybody's fine, there's no problem. We've come through for the last couple of weeks with no injury problems, so it's lucky, you know.
It's been billed, as you know, as the biggest game of hurling this year. Is that sort of hype affecting the team?
I'm sure Waterford and Cork and the other teams will have a bit to say about that. It's the first round of the championship, or it's the semi-final of the Munster Championship, which is a greater significance now, given that the team that loses today is out for the summer. Whereas if you get to the Munster final, you've a month or a couple of months more at least in the championship.
Memories of the league semi-final are now well and truly gone, but certainly, what about the Clare, the first out in the championship? Do you fear a backlash after last year?
No, I think we know what to expect from Clare. They've been the best team in the country. We'll see what they have left in the tank. We'll find out today.
You're all fit, ready to go?
We're ready.
Thank you very much.
Well, the Clare backroom team, of course, led by Ger Loughnane and including Mike McNamara and Tony Considine, but they've been joined this year by another selector, Sean Stack, very highly thought of. Let's hear from Tony Considine and what their perspective on this match is. He's talking with Kieran.
Tony Considine, the team news firstly from Clare. There's been speculation about Ollie Baker. What is the position?
Ollie Baker, unfortunately, is not playing today. Brian Quinn comes in a cornerback and Enda Flannery goes to midfield.
It's a major blow, obviously. First game in the championship, a man of Ollie Baker's ability is out.
Yeah, a guy of Ollie's experience and things like that, but he wasn't fit to play, so you had to put out 15 fit fellas in the field in Munster Championship. That's what we're doing today.
What about the appetite for this game, Tony? It's 10 months since that defeat against Offaly in the All-Ireland semi-final. What's the state of Clare hurling today?
Playing Tipperary, there'll always be an appetite in Clare, and we're looking forward to it now today.
What about the opposition? You know that Nicky English is, of course, trying to plot his first success, and Tipperary have been improving.
They have been improving. They're the form team in the country at the moment because they have won the league and they've won the South East League. Anything that's won in '99 already, Tipperary have it won. But we've had tremendous battles with them in the last number of games, both in league and in championship, and I think it's going to be a great battle again today.
Tony Considine, the best of luck and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, well, the speculation was all week that Ollie Baker would not be playing in that match, and it's confirmed for us there now by Tony Considine. Right now, we're going to take a commercial break. We're back after that with Clare versus Tipperary in the Munster Hurling Championship.
Go on, boy. Go and get the treat. Off he goes. Go on. Over there. Whee, look at him go. Go on. Don't get stuck. Go and get the treat. That's it. Over there. You're going the wrong way. Go on, Ozzy. I know you can do it. Fantastic. Really marvellous. Go on. Okay, but this is the last time I'm going to show you this trick.
McVitie's Jaffa Cakes, deliciously self-centered.
Afraid you let the dream job slip away? Job opportunities pass you by. That someone will beat you to the best job. For top jobs with top companies, visit www.topjobs.net. The world of recruitment is changing. You might want to keep up.
Wilkinson Swords bring you technology in 3 dimensions. The new Protector 3D. Its wire-wrapped blades now move in 3 ways for the optimum balance of safety and closeness. Protector 3D from Wilkinson Swords. The feel of smart design. In a fresh new line of toiletries.
Dying moment. One last attack. Shearer setting up through the centre. Long ball to Shearer. Shearer! An unbelievable goal!
Lucas Aid Sport is designed for top athletes. It delivers fluid and energy fast, so I'm always ahead of the game.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
The Matrix. Magpie Magazine, your essential guide for what to do and where to go in the west of Ireland. Available nationwide.
Look it up, check it out. The Red Book for what's available in your area. Tasha Own, the business and shopping guide that's used nationwide by thousands. It's guaranteed Irish.
Welcome back again. Now, we had it confirmed for us before the break that Ollie Baker would not be part of this match. Tomas McCahey. Now, what's the significance of that from a Clare point of view?
Well, I mean, it is a big loss to the Clare team itself, but I would have felt before now, I mean, up to today, there would have had been a big doubt about Holly, whether his fitness was right or not, you know. And I'll just go back to the league semi-final maybe 3 weeks ago when Clare actually moved Enda Flannery from cornerback actually up to midfield halfway through that second half of the game. And he's a similar type of player. Holds the hurling in the same style, not too unlike Ollie Baker himself. So he's out there to actually prove a point for himself today. And they've already made replacement in Brian Quinn. So there's not too much disruption in their defence. But in midfield, it's a big task on Enda Flannery to replace someone of the calibre of Ollie Baker. So it's a dent in Clare's chances straight off, I would feel.
We should make the point that the pitch is in very good condition as well today, Cyril Farrell, but who's going to play better on it? Who's going to win this match?
It's much better than last weekend's. Clare have to go back last year for a good game. Everyone is assuming they can go back again to the well, come out and play like, you know, 100%, everything going perfect. Whereas Tipper coming from a stronger position, they are actually hurling, have hurled well in the league, and they're coming from hurling kind of backgrounds even to last 2 Sundays ago. But like going just on the experience alone, I'd imagine that maybe just Clare might be by a point or a half point, if you know what I mean, because it's going to be very, very tight. First 10 minutes, hectic.
That's a new one. Cyril Farrell says Clare are going to win it by half a point. Let's go back and get to Ger Canning.
Yes, indeed. Interesting prediction, but what a setting. The houses of Montenotte in the background there, sloping down onto what used to be the athletic grounds, now Porky Quay. And Tommy Dunn has won the toss. Referee had the 2 captains eyeing one another almost, and he was laying down the law, you could see that. And then they tossed the coin, and the referee allowed Tommy to call for it. He called Harp, and he won. So, first victory to Tipperary. At least they've won the toss. And we'll just have to wait and see which way they're going to play. It looks like that they're going to play towards the city end. That would be probably against the breeze, although looking at the flags right in the middle of the field right now, the linesman's flags, change of direction for the breeze there, but it does appear that it is blowing from left to right as we watch it. And one person down there in the dugout who'd love to be playing is Ollie Baker, very, very unhappy. And I know one of his great fans and a cousin of his, a first cousin, Paul Meany from Rouen GA, will be wishing him the very, very best of luck. And Ollie likewise wishes Paul the very best of luck. Another young man who can't be here today is Darren Quinn, who broke his leg in an under-14 hurling match playing for Meelick. He's in the Croom Hospital watching the game. Hello to you, Darren. Best wishes from all at the Meelick GA club to you. And it's going to be Clare who will have the breeze in the first half. Ger Loughnane, then his team, having lost the toss, but hoping to win the battle and hoping to win this place into the Guinness Munster Hurling final for 1999. So the players going back into their position. Nicky English, who shares responsibility with Ken Hogan and Jack Bergen for Tipperary's fortunes, willed on by a huge following from the Premier County, many of whom made their way through the Jack Lynch tunnel for the very first time this morning, and from there in towards the Black Rock end, in through Mahon and so on, to park the cars and the buses and the coaches, and here to enjoy what they hope will be a wonderful occasion. Well, now Tipperary have got into more or less their positions, the various lines of the field, whereas Clare have gone into a bunch just on the about the 30-metre line. 30 metres, that is, from what will be their goal in the first half. And it's the Castle Lions pipe band who are going to give us our On the Vienne. Interesting, Tommy Dunn stood in the middle there between Declan Ryan and Brian O'Mara, who straight away has come out towards the 40. Just, I think, tried to outfox the Clare backline into deciding who's going to be marking whom, and right now they've switched around again. And Dickie Murphy from County Wexford takes charge of this match with Pat Horn and Pat Ahern. Pat Horn and Roffley, Pat Ahern from Carlow. And John Lahey and Brian O'Mara have indeed switched positions. It's Lahey now who's top of the left at the start of the match. The semi-final of the Guinness Munster Hurling Championship, and straight away it's Liam Cahill sending it in there. And Fitzgerald hesitated momentarily. Still the pressure on the Clare back line, and the end, that ball has gone harmlessly wide. That's Brian Quinn there, who is playing today in what is his 8th championship match. The Clare supporters are up there on the far side of the pitch here. That's the city end, as Clare play from left to right for the first half. And straight away Colin Lynch needs a replacement stick in midfield. He is marking Conor Gleeson. That's Alan Markham over there trying to get some movement into that ball. Stopped, however, by Tommy Dunn. Up towards Liam Cahill it comes. Cross beyond Liam Doyle, waiting for Brian Quinn to come out for it. Playing at cornerback, remember, in a switch with Enda Flannery. Flannery at midfield. Liam Sheehy down there, and contesting furiously with David Ford, who switched across. Out towards Colin Lynch once more. Good shoulder, and he steps out over the line. And we've got some team news concerning the Clare side. Let's go down to the sideline and to Kieran Mullooly.
The Clare Championship campaign is underway all right here, because David Ford is playing right corner forward instead of left half forward. Alan Markham has moved out into David Ford's position, and Barry Murphy will play at left corner forward.
Yes, all kinds of change of positions. No score so far. And it'll be a sideline ball for Clare. Colin Lynch about to take this one. Colin will be just delighted to have put behind him all the hype of last year. Playing today in his 9th championship match. Inside towards Enda Flannery. Playing in his very first. Touchdown there by Barry Murphy. This is the team captain Anthony Daly, came to come onto it, but stopped by the other team captain, Tommy Dunn. They're trying to give fast, low ball in towards Shelley. Good support play there by Sean McMahon. Out it comes towards Liam Doyle, running into a whole gathering of Tipperary half forwards. Great ball downfield. Played back that time by Donncha Fahy, needing the assistance of Liam Sheedy over there. Not a good ball out. Poor clearance. Still some pressure on here. Again, good work once more by Liam Sheedy. Out to Donncha Fahy. About 50 metres out from the Clare goal, batted down by Frank Lohan. This is Anthony Daly. Slipping that one in there. Conal Bonner needing a bit of assistance getting it. Out towards Conor Gleeson, who was team captain when the teams played in the All-Ireland final, of course, 2 years ago. Again, it's Frank Lohan. Dancing away from the would-be tackles. Liam Doyle. Hitting over the head of Eamon Corcoran there. This is David Ford. Looking for the first score of the match, David Ford. A huge one in, and it sails over the bar. David Ford from Mogurlo in County Clare. A really good start for him, playing in his 12th championship match. Liam Doyle on his left-hand side. Corcoran contesting there with James O'Connor. Good work here by Eddie Enright. That's broken down here by Brian O'Mara. Brian now switched on to the 40. Huge one in towards Shelley. Brian Lohan there as well. Shelley gets the stick to it. Dave Fitzgerald goes down. And a stalemate situation which will probably end with the referee throwing the ball in on the 20-metre line. First time I've seen Brian Lohan play a major championship match without that familiar red helmet on his head. So Lohan moved back. Shelley there beside him for company. And it'll be Declan Ryan here. Sean McMahon waiting for it as well. Should be quite a contest. Dickie Murphy in no particular hurry, wanting the players just to settle down a little bit. Sound refereeing. Finally away by Frank Lowe, not too far. Tommy Dunn gets it back in, and he's put it over the bar. The team captain getting Tipperary's first point. So the match level in these early stages. Not a particularly long clearance that time from Frank Lohan from the throw-in ball by the referee. Batted down there by David Kennedy, one of those emerging young players. O'Mara now, two players converging towards him. McMahon unable to beat him for pace. It's still O'Mara, and then a very good challenge by Frank Lohan, and it's gone for the game's first 65. Frank Lohan is incensed, however. This was the run by O'Mara. Might have had a chance for a score a little earlier. Up to solo forward once again. Players were coming in on him. And did somebody make contact? Frank Lohan was adamant that it wasn't him. Frank has made a prominent start to this match. So a 65, and Tommy Dunn about to take it. Remember, he is playing this one into the breeze. This to give Tipperary the lead for the first time in the game. That's deadly accurate. So a second point by Tommy Dunn, and it's Tipperary 2, Clare 1. But only 6 minutes gone. Referee just removing a couple of broken hurleys from the field. Ger Loughnane looking on as David Fitzgerald about to take the puck out for Clare. Broken down by Conor Gleeson. That's won by Sean McMahon. Again, it's Tommy Dunn, who's had a good start to this match. Jamesy O'Connor protesting. Free to tip. Conor Gleeson about to hit this one. Inside his own 65-metre line. Dropped in towards Shelley, running all the way through there and stopped by David Fitzgerald. Good clearance by Fitzgerald. David Kennedy coming out first time, tends to start matches pretty slowly. Not a great clearance, only as far as Liam Doyle. Kennedy going back, and it's dropped down there by Conal Bonner. Niall Gillingham was trying to pick that one up. It's Eddie Enright trying to get the ball away. Ferocious stuff at times. Out towards Colin Lynch. Nice turn by Lynch. Towards Barry Murphy's corner. Jamesy O'Connor waiting there as well. Corcoran has followed him across over there. That's Fergal Heaney. He's put under immense pressure. The clearance in the end comes out there beautifully as far as Liam Cahill. Clare get it back. That's driven high and that's driven over the bar. Sean McMahon, first point of the game. And the puck out is taken immediately as it's 2 points apiece. And it's going to be a free for a foul there. And Liam Doyle thinking about taking it, but in the end leaving it for Sean McMahon, who's just got that equalising score. Well, Liam Doyle has been one of those unsung heroes over the years for Clare. Today playing his 23rd championship match. It's Sean McMahon's 18th. Well, this free is still inside his own 65-metre line. Heading towards Niall Gilligan. Got to stick to it. David Ford trying to race over. Sheehy is there. Plenty of pressure coming in, however. That was by Stephen McNamara, and that in the end has gone out over the end line. And it's gone for a 65. So a second 65 of the match. One apiece at this stage. Lots of pressure there from the likes of Barry Murphy and Stephen McNamara. And finally going off a Tipperary stick. Off the stick of Donica Fahy. Sean McMahon again about to take this one. The referee is in down at the Black Rock end because there was some attention being given to a Tipperary back. He's okay. Here's McMahon ready to lash it, but putting it to the left this time. And so it stays at 2 points apiece. And that's the first wide of the match for Clare. Well, he's usually good for 3 or 4 points from considerable distances out. Brendan Cummins taking this puck out. It's won by Frank Lowen. A hefty challenge on Frank Lowen. Spills down here towards Enda Flannery. Still trying to get more into the match. Nice ball out there towards Colin Lynch, expecting a challenge. None came, and he knocks it over the bar. And Lynch, the first man to go across and say thanks to Enda Flannery. Colin Lynch from Lizzie Casey has made it 3 points to 2. And both Clare midfield players out of picture, trying to urge one another on a little bit as there's a break in play because of an injury to Conor Gleeson. And Colin wants to take the opportunity of taking a little bit of liquid on board. Well, a facial injury for the young Garda, Conor Gleeson, from Bohorlahan Douala. Well, he was captain, as I mentioned, in '97 by virtue of Douala's county final win in 1996. As Tipperary advance, but are stopped over there. Lots of pressure coming from all of the Tip players. Back again towards Tommy Dunn. Shelley was racing after. David Fitzgerald has had a very good start to the match. 2 very impressive saves. Corcoran trying to bat it away. Jamesy O'Connor trying to knock it in. Again, it's picked up here by Barry Murphy, going for the score himself, and he's put it over the bar. A real rallying score, that. by Barry Murphy, who stepped back into the right corner forward position. 4 points to 2 then. Well, the tip backs were converging, but a little bit of cleverness here by Barry Murphy, taking himself out of danger, finding enough space at the other end. John Lahey hitting his shot, and that has gone over the bar. Good score by John Lahey. Lahey still operating at top of the left, making it 4 points to 3. Well, coming into the 90s, I suppose the name many people associate with Clare goalkeepers would have been Seamus Durack. 10 years on, it's very much David Fitzgerald. Enda Flannery going up to collect this one, taking it down, looking very commanding, in towards Stephen McNamara. Spills loose, however, towards Liam Sheedy. In beyond Liam Doyle. Winning the race is John Lahey, getting there ahead of Brian Quinn. Diagonal ball inside towards Liam Cahill, 45 metres out, and a wonderful shot, and that's over the bar. And the sides now level for the 3rd time in this game. It's Clare 4, Tipperary 4, and there's great pace to the match. Well, Tipperary's tactic has been to puck the ball out as fast as possible. David Fitzgerald is tending to slow it down a little bit. Coming in towards Eddie Enright this time. There against Colin Lynch, now Niall Gilligan. And David Kennedy sticking to his task brilliantly. Still Kennedy does well. Roared on by the fans of the Premier County. But not the best of shots after all of that, but he did enough to deny Niall Gilligan getting easy possession. Well, how will he feel about the opening 13.5 minutes of this match? And again, Conor Gleeson requires attention. And once again, the head having to get a little bandage just there above the eye. Probably require a stitch maybe at half-time. Dickie Murphy deciding to hold up the match just for a moment. And Nicky English has done such a fine job with Tipperary, winning the league, of course. But their #1 target is very much the championship. Trying to deny Clare as Enda Flannery once again wins this ball. Inside there towards Stephen McNamara. Out towards Jamesy O'Connor. He was quick that time, he was fouled as well. A look at the referee there by Eddie Enright, the Thurles Sarsfield's man. But Dickie was right on the spot. So it's going to be a free in, which should once again restore Clare's lead. Jamesy O'Connor about to take it. Looking for his first point of the afternoon. Making it look very comfortable indeed. And that's now 106 points he's scored in all of his championship career. Brendan Cummins. Huge one in. And that against the breeze seemingly. But it is swirling somewhat. Anthony Daly put under pressure, and Daly, did he take too many steps with it? The referee is in very quickly. Daly's gone across to left half back, and the referee is speaking with John Lahey. And it's going to be a free the other way, a free to Clare instead. Paul Shelley quizzes the decision as well. Well, Daly wasn't standing on nonsense that time. He just got straight away from the incident and way over to mark Tommy Doyle at left half back. Paul Shelley, who's impressed plenty of people. But what about the wounded man at midfield, Conor Gleeson? David Fitzgerald hitting the free. Getting it way down there towards Alan Markham. Comes out to David Kennedy once again. Under pressure, manages to do just enough and get it away. Kept in there somehow, but the linesman on the far side, who was Pat Ahern from Carlow, signals that it's going to be a line ball to Tipperary. Eddie Enright saying that he would care to take it, and Conal Bonner steps away. Hit quickly. Still they try to get clean possession. Tommy Dunn up towards Paul Shelley. It was Frank Lohan who was stripped, and it's going to be, I think, a free downfield. Yes, there was a leg reaching out that time. Brian Lohan requires a replacement. Hurley. Well, I suppose many people have the view that Paul Shelley is first and foremost a very fine defender, but they had a problem area at full forward, Tipperary, and he's been more than willing to go in there and try and do his best, even if he can negate the influence of Brian Lohan and stop him coming out with the ball and making those mighty clearances that can lift all the supporters here. They get it in as far as Niall Gilligan. Closed down satisfactorily, however, by the tip half backs. This is in towards John Lahey. Quinn standing back somewhat, managing to get it onto the stick. Well, he had it in his hand twice, so he flicks it downfield, down towards Stephen McNamara, and there's a trip over there. It's on Conal Bonner. Just a little bit of jostling. But Conal Bonner is interesting. He's come back into this half-back line and reclaimed a position there, and gives the Tipperary defence a bit of experience along with Liam Sheedy. Good free. Quinn breaks it down this time, and Frank Lohan again was anticipating. He started very well. Shelley getting it up onto the stick once more, confronted by Brian Lohan, and once again it's Shelley, but once again he's stopped, this time by Liam Dunn, or Liam Doyle I should say. The second time of asking, it goes over the bar from the stick of Eddie Enright. Well, strong pressure play there from Tipperary, involving Paul Shelley and also involving the midfielder Eddie Enright. And it's 5 points apiece once again, and the teams levelled on 4 occasions. This was that challenge there by Brian Lohan, but he brushed him aside. It came back. It was Doyle who got it away brilliantly. Conal Bonner, and David Kennedy goes across. A very impressive performance by David Kennedy. Out towards Eddie Enright, challenged by Jamesy O'Connor. Jamesy with just 1 point so far, and that from a free. Brian Lohan lets it run on. Lahey coming after it, won't come up for him. Brian O'Mara instead, and O'Mara taps it, but he's put it to the left. Well, just indications there that the pitch may not be absolutely 100% just yet, because that first touch let the incoming forward down somewhat. So once more, Davy Fitzgerald. Conor Gleeson goes high on towards Tommy Dunn. This is Enda Flannery mopping it up at midfield, aware that he was about to be hooked, but he still can't manage to find the target. Perhaps put off a little bit there by the presence of Declan Ryan just immediately behind him. Comes out towards Liam Cahill this time, and 2 Clare players just look and wonder where he was. That's where he was, and that's what he did. A second point by Liam Cahill, former All-Star from Ballingarry, and he makes it 6 points to 5. The Munster champions trailing, and the lead has changed hands some 4 times so far in this match, and still 15 minutes to go to half-time. Runs on in there towards David Ford. It's Stephen McNamara, in fact, and McNamara has struck it to the left. And let's go down to the sideline once again. Some more news from Kieran Mullooly.
Gerlach Nan is clearly not happy with his half-forward line. He's now put Jamesy O'Connor on the 40, and he's been pleading to them to get more possession there, and they're not doing so good so far.
Yeah, they're switching positions the whole time, and it's just difficult on occasions to keep tabs on just where everybody's playing. Referee going to throw this ball in. The other player's not back the requisite distance, but it's won by Liam Doyle, and Gilligan deemed to have fouled Eamon Corcoran. Eamon Corcoran, who won another 21B championship medal last year with J.K. Brackens, Fitzgibbon Cup player. In fact, he was player of the tournament recently. A bit of aggro going on inside there. Liam Cahill, the player, was picking himself off the ground rather gingerly. And the referee has the aid of his umpires and also his linesman. Frank Lowen, maybe the player who was involved there with Liam Cahill. Well, did the umpire get a clear view of what happened? And what would the referee's reaction be? He's calling across, I think it is Frank Lowen, indeed it is. And Liam Cahill also called. Looks to have the notebook out here. Well, they've been having a quite furious battle from time to time. Not too sure if it was just a case of recording the fouls and just taking the numbers. Didn't appear to be any yellow card. In towards John Lahey once more, runs loose. Brian Lowen's in there to try and mind the house somewhat. Liam Doyle once again can't take it up this time. Instead it's Brian Quinn, and it falls to Anthony Daly in the end. Alan Markham racing from corner forward. Inside towards Niall Gilligan. James O'Connor was trying to take it in his stride. Gilligan holds it up there. Now the hand pass outside towards Markham. Moving in from the corner, striking it, that angle shot, sailing over the bar. Alan Markham from Kilmaley. Point number 1 for the day for him. And so the score now 6 points apiece. Well, as close a match as everybody expected. Sean McMahon drops it down. Enda Flannery coming in. Well, in the end, throwing it back, not a proper hand pass to Liam Doyle. Perhaps a little bit of inexperience at this level, but a foul nonetheless. And Dickie Murphy was only a matter of 10 metres or so away from him when it happened. So a chance for Tip to go back in front once more. Tommy Dunn has got 2 points, the first 2 points for Tipperary in the match. 1 from play, 1 from a 65. And this is about 50 metres out, in a very central position. And he makes no mistake. So 7-6, Tip lead. So the signal given to Davy Fitzgerald to take the puck out. A low trajectory this time into the centre. Brian O'Mara, the left half forward, trying to get it by Liam Doyle. That's not been easy at any stage during this match. Brian Quinn coming out, does really well. Beats the would-be block there by Eddie Enright towards James O'Connor. Niall Gilligan next. And this is Barry Murphy scampering away there from Liam Sheedy. Murphy, and hooked. Good work by the cornerback. And a pile up, and the referee again will probably throw the ball in. And the ball was picked off the ground, in fact, and it's going to be a free downfield. So free to Tipperary. Just that good run by Barry Murphy effectively came to nothing. Cummins once again the free taker. Breaks down there, Sean McMahon. So far we haven't seen a great deal from Declan Ryan. Colin Lynch, he's tripped, dragged back. They play away, but it's going to be a free for Clare. Smiling Dickie Murphy there, one of the most experienced in the game. So Sean McMahon, somewhat bloodied, about to take this free for Clare. The spectators getting the best possible view. And he'll need a wash down at half-time. Player who loves to take the match by the scruff of the neck and impose his will on the game. Great free taker as well. Dropped all the way in. Brendan Cummins saw it, read it really well. Out towards Tommy Dunn. Daly was coming from behind him. Conor Gleeson there at midfield, stopped by James O'Connor. James is still trying to get back goal side, won by Gleeson. Up towards Shelley once again. Brian Lowen going across. He fumbles it. Shelley has it. Trying to get inside Lowen. Still Shelley. Still Shelley. And in the end, across towards Brian Quinn, trying to link up with John Lahey. Quinn nipped in, huge clearance downfield. Jamesy O'Connor breaks it, and Jamesy's been knocked on the back of the head there, I think, accidentally by David Kennedy. Clare get it back. Colin Lynch. Lynch from 65 metres out. Again, dropping it in, but dropping it just to the right. Well, that's Jamesy O'Connor. He was rising up for that last ball there, I think, with David Kennedy. And this is the end result. Dr. Pádraig Quinn is in there quickly. Scorer of a point in the match so far, Jamesy. Unquestionably one of the finest forward talents ever produced by the Banner County. Well, he's back on his feet. Both managers took the opportunity to get in for just a moment, in Ger Loughnane's case, just to check on the health of Jamesy. So inside the final 10 minutes of the first half, where it's been fast and furious, the lead changing hands so many times. Enright getting it in towards Cahill. Nice first touch this time, laying it offside towards Declan Ryan. He can hit it with the left, he can hit it with the right. This time he drops it short, however, and Davy Fitzgerald is challenged by Paul Shelley. And the referee says, free, Paul. For what, says Paul Shelley? Well, the referee says for committing the foul. So this most pleasant setting here at Porky Queeve, when the big crowd is in here, when the match is fast and furious, there's a wonderful atmosphere always. Tommy Dunn trying to pick it up off the ground, Colin Lynch there as well, Declan Ryan coming in to help. That was David Kennedy getting it out. As far as Anthony Daly of Clare, the left half back, and wonderful calmness and assurance by Brendan Cummins. Another scoring chance for Clare. This is Quinn once again, trying to deny Brian O'Mara. Colin Lynch coming back to help. He was clattered by Brian O'Mara. Free to Colin Lynch's team. So once again, it's going to be Sean McMahon to take the free. And that the result of an earlier injury. A switch in the Tipperary forward line. John Lahey has now gone to top of the left, or rather back to left half forward, I should say, and Brian O'Mara has been switched in to top of the left. Nice ball in, laid off there towards Gilligan, stopped, comes out again to Jamesy O'Connor, and this time Jamesy fires it over the crossbar. It's a second point for Jamesy O'Connor, and the teams are level, still feeling his head somewhat. This was that ball which was broken back there. They were on their knees scrambling for it. David Kennedy couldn't get it out, but when the loose ball reached Jamesy O'Connor, well, that was enough. The teams have been level on 6 occasions. A dramatic Guinness Munster Championship match at Porky Queeve. The clearance by Daly, down towards Barry Murphy, breaks loose, however, in the end to Alan Markham. And they're already waving it wide, the goalkeeper assisting the 2 umpires to make up their minds. And that's a 5th wide now by Clare. It's Markham now at left half forward. Barry Murphy is top of the left. David Ford has switched into top of the right. Lots of switches and changes. Meanwhile, Eddie Enright, Brian Quinn playing very tidily at top of the left, top of the right corner back. Brian Lowen broken down by Conor Gleeson. Gilligan's in there as well. John Lahey tries to go in and fish it out of that little area. David Kennedy trying to help it forward. In the end, it is Enda Flannery. The hand pass to Colin Lynch, aware he was going to be shouldered. And the second time, the indestructible Colin Lynch lays it off beautifully outside here. David Ford with the chance. And it's gone wide. Well, the Clare mentors won't be too happy about that miss there by David Ford. And then after all the hard work by Colin Lynch, again Tipperary taking the opportunities to take the puck outs as fast as possible, trying to put the pressure on the Clare backs, not allow them time and opportunities to get back into positions such as they would wish. Tommy Dunn trying to apply pressure. Ford's across there. It's still Tipperary, and it was still Tommy Dunn who was being pulled and dragged Brian Lohan and Anthony Daly aware that they're being put under intense pressure because of the Tipperary tactics this afternoon. Sun in the eyes of the fans on that far side. A free on the 20-metre line, and Tommy Dunn himself about to take it. 3 points so far in the match for Dunn. And this is where the Tipperary captain can restore their lead. And all of that with about 4 minutes to go to half-time. Another good shot and another fine point. Tip lead then in the semi-final of the Munster Championship. That's out towards Declan Ryan. Again, they come onto it fast here. Eddie Enright. Beyond Sean McMahon. Inside here towards O'Mara. Shortens the grip on the stick, and this time I think it'll be the turn of the Tipperary mentors to feel a bit unhappy. And Brian O'Mara looking at the referee, and if you can read his words, you'll be well aware that he's displeased with the decision, felt he was fouled and should have had a free in. 4 wides then for Tipperary. Runs on towards David Kennedy. Out towards Colin Bonner. Back it comes once again to the other half-back member, Eamon Corcoran. Towards Liam Cahill. 2 points in the match so far. Playing against Frank Lohan. Dropping it in delightfully, but into the arms of David Fitzgerald. It was from a long distance out that Cahill was hitting that one. Towards Gilligan this time. Batted down by Corcoran. Comes out to Colin Lynch, trying to set up the chance. Barry Murphy trying to grab it. McNamara coming into it. And again, some good work by the full-back down there. Aided and abetted by Donnacha Fahy. And it's going to be a free out for holding. So it's going to be a free for Tipperary, and Brendan Cummins about to hit it. Brendan from the Ballybacon Grange Club. And Ger Loughnane is on the pitch and he wants to make a switch. And the referee is saying to him, come on Ger, off you go. It'll still be a free to Tipperary. But he's trying to make switches, and Niall Gilligan have seen move position. And I've noticed that David Ford has now gone to centre half forward, where David Kennedy had been exerting quite an influence. It's broken down here. Sean McMahon towards David Ford now. His first contest there against David Kennedy. Jamesy O'Connor, right half forward. Inside, McNamara's looking at it, but so too is the goalkeeper. Good anticipation by Brendan Cummins. So inside the last 15 seconds of actual playing time, Declan Ryan sending a diagonal ball towards Liam Cahill, but he couldn't get there. He's doing a little tripping instead. Frank Lohan had followed him across. Very annoyed with the decision by referee Dickie Murphy. But Dickie has handled it really well. Well, in terms of scoring chances as we head into injury time, Clare have already created 18 scoring chances, 16 for Tipperary, and as you can see, it's 8 points to 7. Tip with this very narrow lead. It's dropped in this time towards Niall Gilligan. Gilligan takes it down, blocked by David Kennedy. Conal Bonner is there as well. Tip defending valiantly and resolutely, and the referee going in. Will he opt to throw the ball in to end the stalemate there? Conor Gleeson being told, out you go. And David Kennedy will contest here, and the referee says, but that's the end of the first half. It's been fast and it's been furious, and little to choose between the teams. Both sides have missed a few fairly scoreable opportunities, but it's the heat of battle, and Tommy Dunn has contributed 4 points for Tipperary. They've got a very slight lead going in here at the break in Cork Equive in the Guinness semi-final in the Munster Championship. The half-time scoreline reads Tipperary 8 points, Clare 7 points. And let's go down now to Kieran Mullooly.
Ken Hogan, the Tipperary selector, you're a point ahead. You must be pleased.
Well, we're pleased where the first half has gone because there's a swirling breeze there and the game could go anyway. But thankfully the young fellas have settled in fairly well. But the first half is over now, we've got to prepare for the second.
Your defence in particular seems to be getting on top of Clare. You must be pleased about that.
Well, I suppose the first 35 minutes are over, but what we've got to make sure is that the guys concentrate, and particularly the first 5 minutes after half-time are going to be vital.
Finally and quickly, Eddie Tucker is warming up. You're thinking of a change?
Well, obviously, we're thinking of changes throughout the game, but anything that will help us, we will do.
Thank you very much.
OK, that's the situation at half-time in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. 35 minutes to go in the second half, and that's the prospect we're really looking forward to.
If we were picking people for our team of the future here at ESAT Digiphone, what would we be looking for? Someone who believes in teamwork, naturally. Someone who plans ahead, definitely. But of all these young players, the one we would be most interested in is the one that wants to go the extra mile. To be the best. The one for whom second place just won't do. ESAT Digiphone, making it work for you.
This is Ronseal Quick Drying Wood Stain. It's a wood stain that's rainproof in about 30 minutes. Use Ronseal Quick Drying Wood Stain. It does exactly what it says on the tin.
Chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate. Chocolate is chocolate. Chocolate is Cadbury is chocolate is Cadbury is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is Cadbury is chocolate is Cadbury is chocolate. Chocolate is. Ba 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 ba.
Always the same, like night follows day. Beamish, consistency in a world gone mad.
Normally, colour films have only 3 emulsion layers, red, green and blue. But now there's a 4th for vivid and real pictures. New Fujicolor Superior with new Reala technology by Fujifilm. Test it. Discover the 4th layer advantage.
Midwest Tiles, the one-stop shop for timber floors, bathroom suites and quality tiles. Now open at the Lisbon Centre, Tuam Road, Galway.
You're welcome back again. So then Tipperary lead Clare in this Munster Hurling Championship match, and a good intense first half it has been. Let's have a look at the statistics from that and see what they tell us. The first thing they're going to tell us is the score of the match. 8 points to 7 in Tipperary's favour, nothing in it of course. 9 wides for Clare, 9 frees, I should say, for Clare, 7 for Tipperary, 6 wides for Clare, 4 for Tip, 165 each. And surprisingly, given the intensity of the rivalry between these two sides, no yellow cards and no red cards in that first half. Now, a quick reminder that if you want to comment on those statistics or indeed anything else which happens today, well, you can get on to Pat Spillan's Monday Feedback. The lines are open from 7 until 11 tonight, and the numbers to call are 1850 200 620, or if you're ringing from the north, it's 0845 309 8117. And you can also email Pat sundaygame@rte.ie. Now, well, you can see there behind me, the divots are being replaced on the pitch in Portkeith. Tomas, a quick word about that, because you walked the pitch, I think, during the week, and it's in much better shape than it was last week between Waterford and Limerick.
Yeah, I mean, the pitch came in for a lot of criticism after last Sunday, and they did an awful lot of work over the week. There was some heavy falls of rain there, maybe Friday and Saturday, and I was there on Friday, walked the pitch, and they were cutting the grass at that stage, and certainly looked in a lot better condition.
Excellent. OK, well, Cyril Farrell, it's been the same pitch for both teams. Who's had the better of it? I mean, Tipper a point ahead.
I'd say Tipper are the happiest team at half-time because they have played against a nice strong breeze as such. Well, not strong but blustery, and they are the point up, and they've been kind of dictating the pattern to play. The Clare forwards haven't really made any inroads at all yet, like, and you know, at half-time I said there'd be a lot of strong talking going on in the Clare dressing room.
Yeah, you've been saying to us during that first half, like the Clare forwards, the full forward line, struggling badly.
Just making no impression at all. Any ball that goes in, Brendan Cummins is on his own, he's catching them on his own and clearing them, and like, you know, they'll have to start doing something. But I suppose against a bit of a breeze, the ball may not go in as far, and you know, I think that they will probably make a change, I think, in personnel up front for the second half. They'll have to like to try to throw some shape in the forward line.
And yet at the same time, Tomas, if you look at the other side of the pitch, apart perhaps from Liam Cahill, the tip forwards either haven't been in full swing.
Yes, I suppose when you're playing against the breeze like that, there's a tendency to be drawn away from goal, and in that first half again, David Fitzgerald won a lot of clean possession in his own goal line with nobody challenging, you know. So I mean, the one disappointing feature for me in the first half is that there's been very little ground hurling. There's been a lot of bunching, a lot of guys trying to pick the ball. I mean, on a given day like today, I mean, you should be letting the ball do the work, and they've been trying to pick balls in possible situations, especially Clare's forwards, as Cyril said, breaking balls around the square. I mean, that's the time the first time pulling. You have every opportunity that you could get a goal or get a point out of that, but that hasn't happened today for Clare.
Well, I suppose, Cyril, part of the contributing factor to that is there's been so much tension, particularly in the early part of the game. I mean, it took 3.5 minutes for the first score to come. Now, that's not necessarily a terrible long time, but it looked like it wasn't going to come at all until David Ford put this one over the bar. Yeah, well, like, it is tense, but to be fair, like, there's no yellow cards or red cards, like, and that's going to happen. And I suppose it's been a very low scoring game as such. Now, David Ford is a very fast forward, like, and at the start again, Clare forward switched around over the place, and David was going in corner forward, and you can see him now when it shows on the slide coming up that David is very fast. You know, will get out usually in front of his marker, and it's good to take a score too. Here you're going to see him goes out and picks it up, sends a beautiful dump in his left, turns around and just takes a little run over the bar from about 35 yards on the right wing. It's a fantastic score. He has done that once. Now the question will be, like, why doesn't he do it more often? Like, that's what Jerry bet him at half time, to open up the tip backs as such. Funny game in the sense, 8 points to 7. Very little scoring for 35 minutes hurling in a Munster Championship game. There was an odd kind of situation in the middle of that first half, Tomas, where Tip actually looked like they were gone into a lull period. They weren't hurling particularly well, and then up stepped Liam Cahill, and he got 2 scores that suddenly put Tip right back where they wanted to be.
Yes, I mean, he's looked very lively in the corner forward position, even though Frank Clone is having a very good game as well. And here we see John Lahey with all his experience. Nice crossfield pass. He knows he's not going to be able to score from there, and throws across to Liam Cahill on his left hand side. He's very accurate from those situations, and he's played very, very well in the first half, and he'll be hoping to do the same in the second half. Here we see a puck out from Brendan Cummins. Liam Cahill goes up. I mean, if you were a Clare back, you would say he has no right to win a ball out of the air like that, and gets a great score again off his left hand on the run. Clare would be disappointed. He's particularly small in stature, that from a puck out situation that he's able to go up and win possession like that.
Well, for me, Liam Cahill has been the best forward on view, certainly from a Tipperary point of view anyway, Cyril. Yeah, well, like, he's prepared to have the goal, like, and John Lahey picked him out, a lovely diagonal ball going across the pitch. It's very hard for a back. The forward should be always in front, and if a back goes in front of him, he's in trouble. Now, Liam knew that ball was coming, got onto his favourite left side, and as Tomas pointed out, he caught the next one out of the sky out in the half forward line as such. He's prepared to have a go. He hadn't a great league semi-final as such against Clare, was taken off, disappointed to be taken off, which a fellow should be, and he's out to prove, like, you're not going to take me off today. Sure, yeah. Around the middle of the field, Tomas,
What have you made of it?
Again, I mean, I must say I'm very impressed with Enda Flannery. I mean, in his first championship match in the middle of the park, he's hit an awful lot of ball in the first half.
Yeah.
I'm sure Colin Lynch has done particularly well as well.
Sure.
Tip may be a bit worried about their centre field. Eddie Enright isn't having the best of games. Colin Gleeson obviously has taken a heavy tackle in the first half. Remains to be seen whether he'll come out from the second half. We heard there that Eddie Tucker was maybe warming up. They might be looking at a change in their midfield area for the second half.
And the battle that we talked about before the game, the Shelley-Lohan affair, hasn't really materialised. Certainly not on the ball, anyway.
It hasn't as such, but I'm sure Paul Shelley is going to be much happy because much of the happier of the two. Because I mean, his objective, if he didn't score today, was to stop Brian Lohan coming out of the defence, making those long clearances down the field, getting the Clare crowd up, getting the defence up behind him as well. And Paul has stopped that. I mean, even though he's got a few tickings from Dickie Murphy at this stage, and he hasn't threatened a lot going forward, he's still doing an effective job. OK, now we have other games, of course, being played today, particularly in the football championship. No, actually, I think we're going to go back to Páirc Keeve and let's take up the action from down there. Teams back on the field.
Yeah, that's probably the wisest course of action because Dickie Murphy is just about to restart this match. The last player out was Jamesy O'Connor. And so Dickie Murphy about to get the second half of the Guinness Munster Hurling Championship semi-final underway. No indication of any changes from either team. Back towards Tommy Dunn, this one comes. And another big one stopped by David Fitzgerald. Back beautifully caught there by Eddie Enright at midfield. Tip will look the sharper side in the first half. Tommy Dunn once again. Colin Lynch chases after him, opting to kick the ball in, stopped by Frank Lohan. And Lohan turns around there and Paul Shelley seems to be feeling his right leg. Referee's gone in to have a word with both Brian Lohan and Paul Shelley. I think that there will be concern on the Clare bench that Brian Lohan and Sean McMahon aren't their usual absolutely dominant selves, and without scoring in the match so far, Declan Ryan and Paul Shelley have probably done enough to negate their influence. It's going to be a throw ball, some 45 metres out from the Clare goal. Declan Ryan in there to contest. Tommy Dunn overhead inside, beyond Paul Shelley, beyond Brian Lohan as well. Lohan trying to take it away from that danger area in front of Davy Fitzgerald. In came Liam Cahill, but the referee said it wasn't a shoulder onto the other shoulder, more a shoulder into the back of Brian Lohan. So free for Clare. And the fans lift the decibel level once again. If you've joined us late, we estimate about 40, perhaps 43,000 people are here at Páirc Keeve in the sunshine, but with a swirling breeze that really does favour Tipperary, if anything, for the second half. It's tending to blow down towards the Blackrock end of the ground. Declan Ryan, beyond Frank Lohan, in towards Paul Shelley. Shelley trying to pick that ball up, Brian Lohan right behind them the whole time. Still it runs loose to Frank Lohan. Remember, it is a Clare team without the considerable influence of Ollie Baker, out through injury. Up here towards Niall Gilligan, this one comes. Clare did an awful lot of switching of their forward line in the first half, and at times it was hard enough to see them developing a pattern. Players weren't allowed in positions for too long. Throw ball taken. Missed there by David Kennedy in a very, very good first half. Jamesy O'Connor hitting this one on towards Alan Markham. On even further there towards Barry Murphy. Expecting the challenge to come across there from Fergal Heaney, but the referee has whistled back for the foul there by the fullback. And the referee has the notebook out. Well, Fergal Heaney was the one who was coming across the flight path of the incoming forward, Barry Murphy. Well, we've just received the official attendance. Our guess wasn't too bad. 42,382 are watching this. Jamesy O'Connor to hit the free, and Jamesy inexplicably has put it to the right and wide. But in mitigation, the angle was a little tight. So once again, it's going to be Brendan Cummins to take this puck out, but this is the man who's warming up or being prepared just in case he's required. Ollie Baker. He'd love nothing more than to come in there. This is John Lahey. 1 point in the first half was his tally. Brian O'Mara had a few opportunities. This is his latest. It's got over the bar. Tip lead by 2 points. O'Mara's first point of the match, coming just in the 4th minute of the second half. Davy Fitzgerald. Are the Munster champions feeling the pressure this afternoon? Conor Gleeson inside towards Eddie Enright, fast delivering, good ball. Shelley selflessly running, good work by Shelley, getting there ahead of Brian Lohan, and Shelley's shot is stopped over the bar by Davy Fitzgerald, but Paul Shelley will take the credit. His first point of the afternoon, and Tipperary have made an excellent start to the second half and lead by 10 points to 7. Shelley with the clenched fist to the fans behind the goal, saying, come on, get behind us even more. This was Shelley beating Lohan, and it's gone over. Ollie Baker has just come into the Clare team, and he looks like he's going into the full forward line. He's played there before, and Stephen McNamara, I think, is the one who is making way. Ger Loughnane makes a vital change with nearly 5 minutes gone in the second half. This is delivered in there towards David Ford. Ford still playing on the 40, that switch which was made just before half-time. Pressure here on Frank Lohan, pressure from Liam Cahill. Cahill unable to get that ball up on his stick, however. He does it the second time, and he swung it to the right, but John Lahey's after it. Well, it's down there, of course, where John Lahey just missed the ball in the Munster final in 1997. And they only lost that day by a goal, and of course he had a late chance as well in the All-Ireland final that year, and they lost that so narrowly once again to Clare. Tip will feel they owe Clare something. Clare will feel they've suffered long enough at the hands of Tipperary and other teams in Munster like Cork and like Limerick. Tip get it back, Declan Ryan inside towards Lahey, trying to win the race against Brian Quinn. Sean McMahon trying to lift the tempo of Clare's game, sending it in there. Conal Bunner, hurleys go flying. Back it comes towards Barry Murphy. Murphy setting sail, looking for another point for Clare, one that they would need, but he struck it to the left. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what the Clare attack can do for the second half. Barry Murphy wearing 13, playing at top of the left. Ollie Baker full forward. Niall Gilligan is right corner forward. Jamesy O'Connor right half forward. David Ford centre forward, and Alan Markham left half forward. Those are the many changes and switches that Clare have been forced into making. Shelley gets it back towards his team captain, and Tommy Dunn hits this one, and it's just gone inches outside the left-hand post. Not too much in it. Once again, Davy Fitzgerald's puck out. Enda Flannery, one-hander trying to get it on there. Kennedy once more. This is Enda Flannery. His first championship match across to Colin Lynch. Sends it in towards Ollie Baker. They're racing after it. And a good shoulder there. Players bouncing off one another. Back it comes once again here to the man at left corner back, who is Liam Sheedy. Colin Lynch trying to take it up, looking where his immediate opponent was, expecting the hook, and Colin Lynch fires it in, but he's fired it left, and he's fired it wide. Again, Tipperary taking the puck out quickly, trying to catch the Clare backs. John Lahey, was he pulling back his man? It's still Lahey against Brian Quinn. Liam Cahill's in there, but so too Anthony Daly. Out towards Jamesy O'Connor, taken down there. Stalemate situation. Conor Gleeson trying to get the stick to it. The last one to get a hurley on it was Eamon Corcoran. Inside towards Brian O'Mara. O'Mara against Frank Lohan. Here's a goal chance, and it spills out of his stick eventually, and David Fitzgerald loses the cap as he was trying to get that ball away. But he does manage to get his clearance in as far as 65 metres in from his own goal. Colin Lynch against Eddie Enright. Up towards Ollie Baker. It's Baker against Fergal Heaney. Comes out to Niall Gilligan. Gilligan has support over there. There's Jamesy O'Connor. Jamesy O'Connor! Jamesy O'Connor gets the goal for Clare. After 9 minutes of the second half, Gilligan set him up. And this is where Jamesy received possession and buried it to the right of Brendan Cummins, and that's his first ever goal in the championship. Now, will that first goal by Jamesy establish a Clare recovery? Under pressure are the Tipperary full back line. Frantic pressure. Ollie Baker against Fergal Heaney. Back it comes once more to Gilligan. Blocked down. He did well initially. Comes back towards David Ford, and it's put over the bar. That's the second point now for David Ford. But that all-important goal has established a recovery for Clare. So Clare go back in front once again. The lead has now changed hands on 5 occasions, but Tommy Dunn wants an equaliser here, and it got over the bar. Tommy Dunn, 5 points in the match. And I've noticed down below me here that Paul Kelly is being prepared. In fact, not just that, he's already into the action. And Brian O'Mara has been taken off the Tipperary team. So young Paul Kelly, who's a very highly rated player, played his first championship match recently against Kerry. He's a bank man, and indeed in a recent bank match he scored 3-5 out of 3-9, not bad going at all. Now, what will he do here at Porky Queeve this afternoon? He has plenty of time left, 25 minutes. So the match all tied up. Well, it's going to be a free once Anthony Daly is given the nod by the referee. Incidentally, Stephen McNamara, who was taken off the Clare team, is still behind the goal. He's never gone back to the bench. Donnacha Fahy back once again to take his place at right corner back, where he's marking Barry Murphy. Well, not a free, of course, a sideline ball. Daly the taker, stopped there by David Kennedy. Huge one down towards Liam Cahill. Cahill steps away from danger. 2 Clare men after him. Partial block on that by Sean McMahon. Still runs in towards Lahey. Standing back there and standing his ground is Liam Doyle. Broken down by Conor Gleeson. David Ford was anticipating. Good low ball inside towards Barry Murphy. Gets there ahead of Donnacha Fahy, but Fahy manages to get a fortunate break there. It runs loose to him. That's a good clearance. Wonderful effort from players on both teams, all over the field. Players having their little moments of mastery against the immediate opponent. And still very much the issue in doubt here. Clare trying to hold on to their Munster Championship, the title that they won back last year. Liam Cahill here. Cahill going through against Frank Lohan on his left-hand side. He strikes it beautifully. Great hurling by Liam Cahill. And that's 3 points now for the Tipperary corner forward. 12 points for Tip, 1-8 for Clare. So the 3 wise men of Tipperary consider another possible change. We'll just have to see what their thinking is. If maybe the Declan Carr is about to be sprung. Paul Kelly has already been introduced at top of the left. That's Conal Bonner over there, trying to get at the end of that pass by Conor Gleeson. David Ford over there to challenge for Clare. And Pat Horn from Offaly, the linesman, quite adamant that it's going to be a sideline ball to the Clare men. This to be taken by Colin Lynch. So Tip by just a solitary point. Lynch striking it. Inside towards Ollie Baker, really hampered by that leg injury. Niall Gilligan had just enough room, and Niall Gilligan has found the range beautifully. Still anybody's match. Gilligan now atop of the right, tying it up, and that's his first point of the game. The team's now level for the 9th time. What a contest. Declan Ryan, kicked away in the end by Sean McMahon, as far as Enda Flannery. Flannery, the newcomer to Championship Hurling, a huge leap in the air by Eamon Corcoran. Goes down there as far as David Ford. Ford hitting this one from a huge distance out and into the arms once again of Brendan Cummins. Well, the coaches will hate that because it gives the chance for Tipperary to counter-attack. Paul Kelly in there chasing. Cahill inevitably, the real danger man from a Clare perspective this afternoon, comes out to Tommy Doyle, and almost balletic-like, he finds enough space to knock it over the bar. His 6th point of the day, and indeed a change has now been made, and coming into the match is Eddie Tucker. Let's go down to Kieran Mullooly.
Eddie will take John Lahey's place on the Tipperary team as Nicky English tries to step up the pressure again.
So it's something we don't see very often. John Lahey taken off the Tipperary team. Brian O'Mara's already gone off it. So Tucker is in, Paul Kelly is in. Ferocious contest there on that half-back line, prodded forward by Daly. Barry Murphy here. Tip with that 1-point lead. Murphy against Donncha Fahy. And it's ended up going to the left. That's 10 wides now by Clare. 6 in the first half, 4 in the second so far. Still about 20 minutes to play. Eddie Tucker looking, but that was a great catch by Sean McMahon. Quick release into the half forwards towards Jamesy O'Connor, Clare's goal scorer. David Kennedy chasing after him, one-handed trying to get the ball away. And Eddie Corcoran was coming in, and Enda Flannery at the receiving end of Eddie Corcoran's anger there, or Eamon Corcoran's anger there. And the referee will restart the play by taking the ball into his hand. Once again, he's going to throw the ball in. He's had to do this about 3 or 4 times in this match, at least 3 or 4 times. David Ford is poised. Eamon Corcoran is poised. Again, no great movement forward. Once again, the referee is going to be called in. Again, Dickie Murphy always keeping a very cool head about him, always appears to be totally in charge. Colin Lynch has picked that ball off the ground. It's going to be a free to Tipperary. They want the ball back as fast as possible, and he's reluctant because he wants to argue with the referee that there was a little hop on that one. But Dickie again has a smile on his face, not one bit influenced by Colin's point of view. The booing is coming from the Clare fans. It'll be David Kennedy to strike this free inside his own 65-metre line. A place in the Munster final at stake. Inside, and beautifully caught again by Liam Doyle. Well, whoever would win this match today would be guaranteed, of course, a place in the All-Ireland series, because both Munster finalists, once again, like the Leinster finalists, will go through to either the quarterfinals or the semi-finals. So there's so much at stake. An entire year's work. Barry Murphy beating Donncha Fahy to it. Still Barry Murphy coming in. His jersey was hauled back and the referee has whistled, and it's going to be a free into Clare, and this is where Clare can go back on level terms once again. James O'Connor comes across, cool as you like, to take this free. Tip got plenty of men back just in case he goes for another goal effort, and he's put it wide. Oh, that was a pretty straightforward chance, and he'll be greatly disappointed by that, and so too the Clare fans and mentors. Groans from the Clare supporters. Brian Lohan. Having had a very difficult afternoon, Brian Lohan down there against Paul Shelley's rugged determination. Conor Gleeson, knocking into his own man, who is Tommy Dunn. Dunn has it. Flannery, not wishing to give him any leeway there. Eddie Tucker, that's Eddie Enright, and this is Anthony Daly, one-handed forward, just enough to get it as far as Alan Markham. A big one in there, and again, Brendan Cummins, chest tie, takes the shoulder. Hurler come footballer, although his concentration this year is very much on the small ball game. That's Eamon Corcoran running into two Clare men. David Kennedy once again, and not for the first time, getting a good clearance downfield. Kelly was trying to take that ball up. Race over here, Brian Quinn expecting the shoulder, not disappointed either. Declan Ryan against Frank Lohan. Still Ryan standing his ground, knocking it in, saved by David Fitzgerald. There was a possible point there for the taking for Declan Ryan. And this is where Davy Fitzgerald once again loses the old cap, but not possession. Clare take it forward. It's Anthony Daly, the Clare Castle man, the captain of this team. Ollie Baker trying to deny Fergal Heaney possession. Fergal, however, getting there first. Once again, it's David Kennedy. He's been so impressive this afternoon. Nicely caught here by Liam Cahill. Still they go forward, and there's a free. Sean McMahon and Brian Lohan remonstrating with the referee. But Tip have a 1-point lead and a chance now of a second. Well, this is what was happening here just a little while ago. That was the shot there by Declan Ryan, and that was the save by David Fitzgerald. But the next piece of action is going to be this free. That's the angle that faces Tommy Dunn. He's 3 from 3, including 65 so far. That's 3 frees taken, 3 frees converted. Now, what will he do with this? He's headed to the left. The pressure must be getting to players like Tommy Dunn, and even to another wonderful player like James O'Connor, who missed a free a little while ago. So the frees there miss, cancel one another out, and there are 15 minutes left. Some more team news. Let's go down to Kieran.
Brian Lohan now playing in the corner, for his position where Frank was a few moments ago. There's a quick change there in the Clare defence.
Yes, he's on Liam Cahill. Meanwhile, that ball is flung forward there by Barry Murphy, but Clare can't hold possession. Instead, it'll be Tip with the sideline ball. Well, it's a fast and furious contest. Mike McNamara there, Gerlach Nan as well, trying to hatch the plans that might eventually see them get through, but it'll be quite a tight squeeze. Tip have been very game, as everybody expected, very skillful as well, and it's been quite a battle. David Ford, still forward, an angle ball across here towards Niall Gilligan, one-handed out there by Liam Sheedy, and that was just enough to deflect it out for a sideline ball. It's fast and it's furious. Nicky English. Quick consultation there, and Colin Lynch, I think, being told, or rather telling Ollie Baker, in you go. So Ollie in at full forward, and Colin Lynch to hit this one. An almost impossible angle, happy enough just to get it in towards the goal area, and once again Brendan Cummins, beaten once, but he's had a very fine match. Both goalkeepers so impressive. This is Eddie Tucker. Tucker setting away, 45 metres out now. Point chance here for the taking, and he has put it over the bar. It's a great score by Eddie Tucker. A good solo run, but more importantly, he knew when to stop and put it over the bar and make it 14 points to 1-9, or 14 points to 12. David Fitzgerald. Broken down here, once again. Tommy Dunn trying to get it away, but once again stopped. It's Alan Markham. And a rather hurried effort by Alan Markham. And Ollie Baker pointing the way there in full forward, saying, come on, hit it away towards the right, be aware of the breeze. But Clare are looking for a break from somewhere. Tip have looked the better, but it's still a tight situation. Only 2 points between them. Once again, the Clare doctor called on to attend. Well, the goal that came after 9 minutes of the second half would seem to have lifted the Clare team. Enda Flannery from Whitegate gets the attention. Conor Gleeson inside towards Tucker. Tucker on the 40. causing problems there for Sean McMahon. In towards the man who was on the 40, who was Declan Ryan, and Ryan raises a huge cheer and a white flag with his first point of the match. Tip are looking like they're about to end Clare's reign as Munster champions, but still plenty of time to go. This match could turn around in 30 seconds. Tommy Dunn misses it. Down he goes on the ground rather hard. Colin Bonner gets it back. David Kennedy once again. Well, whether or which, I think Nicky English will be very pleased with the performance of his young charges. Still Clare. Still Brian Lohan. Now at left corner back. Beating Tommy Dunn's block. Good ball in towards Baker. Heaney struggling. Brendan Cummins once again, he's played really well behind his full back line, aware that he had a number of players playing just in front of him who were inexperienced at this level. It's Barry Murphy, and he misses it, still persisting. They try to get it away there. Conor Gleeson is calling for the fact that the ball was picked off the ground, or that the ball might indeed end up being hopped by the referee or thrown in by the referee. Not much hopping of a ball on this particular surface. Brendan Cummins is down injured, just behind the action there. Well, the referee, is he about to throw the ball in? They're trying to, yes, they're bringing it to his attention there. Liam Sheedy was in quickly there to say, look, hang on, our goalkeeper is going to need a bit of attention by the physio. Well, he's had a very good match, Brendan Cummins. Only beaten once. This is where Niall Gilligan set up a goal chance. Coming over in support was James O'Connor, and that his very first goal in Championship hurling. And today, Jamesy playing his 22nd Championship match. But is it going to be enough? Let's go down to the sideline once again to Kieran.
Nicholas English has asked George Friend from Tumba Club to warm up. He could be coming into the game shortly.
This is Ollie Baker. Clearly hampered by injury. David Kennedy lets it drop down. They managed to get it away in the end, however, to Fergal Heaney's intervention. Liam Doyle coming up onto it. He's 40 metres out from the Tipperary goal. David forward trying to get in there. 3 Tipperary men alongside him. Still managed to get some much room, and he puts it over the bar. 3 points now for David Ford, and still really anybody's match. 15 points to 110. And Clare have made a change. And the player coming in there is Conor Clancy. Clancy has just come into the action. Alan Markham is the one who's made way, by the way.
Number 19, Conor Clancy.
So Conor Clancy has come in, and he's gone straight into full forward. Ollie Baker has gone back out around midfield. Meanwhile, Brian Quinn tries to get that ball away. Eddie Enright tries to get it in. Instead, it's picked up there by Kelly, and Paul Kelly has put it over the bar. Paul Kelly's first point since coming on as a second-half substitute. So following on that Clare point, there's an instant response, and Tipperary once again have a lead of 3 points. Oh, it's going to be a tense last 8-9 minutes of this match. End of Flannery. Clare won't give up in a hurry. Towards Niall Gilligan. Going for the score himself, and he's got another one. Gilligan's second point. 16 points to 111. That's 16-14. A look on the watch, some 27, 28 now nearly minutes gone in the second half. 7 remaining. What chance of draw here? There would be a replay next Saturday, and again it would be at Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Tip have looked good. Clare are not going to give up. Tommy Dunn down there towards Shelley. Shelley against Frank Lohan. In comes Cahill, and he's put in wide. Tip have had some pretty good chances throughout this match to have increased their lead, and they haven't been able to take them. Cahill with 3 points in the match. David Fitzgerald's puck out, right down the centre. David Kennedy against David Ford. The Clare man wins that. Back it comes, however, here. Stopped here by Conor Bonner. Towards Declan Ryan. Quinn just got enough on that outside towards Anthony Daly, who says, go on, take it yourself, and lash it back into the forwards. This time it's in there towards Clancy. Can he get his first point since coming in here? He can! Conor Clancy's first point, and Clare edge ever so much closer. 16 to 112, only a point in it. 6 minutes remain. What a thriller once again from Páirc Uí Chaoimh for the second week in a row. And here's Ollie Baker for the Munster champions. Colin Lynch. Ahead of him is David Ford. This is where they try to draw level. And the Flannery's ahead, but Ford won't need assistance if he can get enough latitude. Bottled up there well by Kennedy. Corcoran's there as well. And Tip won it back. And it's David Kennedy who gets it away downfield. Down towards Paul Shelley. Taking up position there at right half forward. Liam Doyle partly blocked down there by Paul Kelly. Comes back towards, once again, Liam Cahill. Cahill needed a bit more space. It's Frank Lohan instead. Great challenge there with Conor Gleeson. What a titanic struggle. Tommy Dunn from way out the field. It's gone wide. And Paul Shelley was down in front of goal saying to him, why didn't you give it to me? I had a goal chance. You just had to find me. David Kennedy's down, injured. And straight away the medical people are in to attend to him. Well, it's a match which once again has shown us the greatness of this fabulous sport. When two teams go in fearlessly, showing courage, showing determination and skill, training all year long for absolutely no reward in a monetary sense. Colin Lynch. That is going towards the left. The keeper comes out, and once again Brendan Cummins with a very fine save. Out to Eamon Corcoran. Corcoran hurling it down inside there to the inside line. Shelley gets away from his man. It's Paul Shelley winning the race against Frank Lohan. Can he get a goal here? Oh, it's a great save, and it's gone out for a 65. Paul Shelley did everything, but David Fitzgerald was equal to it. This was the moment when Tipperary probably felt, we're going to win this match. But that was a fantastic piece of goalkeeping by Fitzgerald. A second half that's had everything. Great scores, misses, saves. Everybody giving the last ounce of energy for the cause. Tommy Dunn about to take the free. The 65-metre free. His side ahead by a point. About 3.5 minutes still to go. Is it on target? It is. He's got 7 points, and Tip lead the champions. Tip beaten twice in the championship 2 years ago, lead by 17 points to 112. But those two defeats against Clare surely rankled. Now their best chance of atoning for that and getting themselves through to a Munster final against either Cork or Waterford. Again, a ferocious battle in midfield, picked up by Eddie Tucker. Chasing after him, forlornly there was Ollie Baker. It's Shelley again. Missed a goal chance because of a super save, but he's got a point. His second of the day. Is it to be Tipperary's afternoon in the sunshine of Cork? Flags in the air, hats in the air, as it's 18 points to 112, 18 points to 15. About 2 minutes and a little bit still to play. A Clare goal, however, or even a Clare score, would suddenly lift them again. End the Flannery, they're all in after it. It comes out from the goalkeeper, and the referee has whistled. It's not going to count anymore, lads. They can afford to calm down. It's going to be a free out. Barry Murphy there, and Liam Sheedy, the player, on the ground. Barry Murphy saying to him, up you get, come on, there's only a few seconds left in this match. There's going to be a little bit of attention required. Wow. Every so often you need to draw breath in this 100 miles an hour game. But the champions are in difficulty. Behind by 3 points. Just over a minute left. Surely it'll have to take a Clare goal now to rescue this match. All the way through it runs towards Brian Lohan. Anthony Daly, captain for the last 8 seasons. 8 wonderful years for Clare. Gilligan with a late chance. Inside towards Clancy. Can he go by Heaney? It's Clancy. It's still Clancy. And he's pulled and dragged, and it's a penalty. A penalty for Clare. This could be the moment when they save their crown and stay in the championship of 1999. Oh, what glory and tension we've seen. The tip backs exhorting those who'll be on the line to do their very, very best. It'll be goalkeeper Brendan Cummins. Sheedy is there as well, as George Friend has just come in. And who's going to take the penalty? Do you remember the Munster final a couple of years ago, 1995? Davy Fitzgerald has come all the way up the field. Fergal Heaney on the goal line. Brendan Cummins on the goal line. Liam Sheedy. We're in injury time. If this goes in, I think it's going to be a replay. David Fitzgerald aware of what he has to do. Bit of gamesmanship as they try to unsettle him. Conal Bonner being told back you go, and everybody else told outside the exclusion zone. This is the moment. Clare must get a goal here. David Fitzgerald has scored! He's racing back in the 71st minute. How much time is left? It's all over. Tip thought they had done enough, but they couldn't prevent that penalty goal by David Fitzgerald. The teams were level 10 times in a wonderful contest, and David Fitzgerald has saved Clare's title. They live to fight another day. David Kennedy is absolutely crestfallen. In fairness, in terms of scoring chances, there was nothing between them. 36 scoring chances for Clare, 35 scoring chances for Tipperary. But that penalty award after the substitute Conor Clancy was hauled down resulted in a conversion by David Fitzgerald, and it all ends level. Clare 2-12. Tipperary 18 points, and according to today's match programme there would have to be a replay which is scheduled for Porky Queen once again. It's scheduled for next Saturday. Those are the only details we can give you, but what a contest, what a day. Let's go down to the sideline.
Yes indeed, Ger, with me Ger Loughnane. An incredible finish. You never really give up, do you?
Well, we never give up, but having said that, we got out of jail today. You know, whether it's a temporary release or not, we won't know until next week, but Tipperary were absolutely fantastic. Tremendous tactics all over the field to try and open us up. But I suppose what kept us going in the end was the great battling spirit of Clare, and that's what we've shown over the last 5 years. And that's what's really saved us today. But, you know, it's only part 1. You know, we're going to part 2. Let's hope there's not a part 3 like Offaly last year, but I mean, what a game today, and what a game we're in for the next day as well.
You've been responsible for 1 or 2 inspired substitutions in your time, and I think you did it again at the end of the match today.
Well, I think I've been responsible for a few heart attacks, whatever about inspired substitutions. But Conor Clancy scored the point, got the penalty, and of course Fitzy was dead confident scoring the goal, and we got it. But you know, it's going to be very hard work back here next Saturday, or back whatever we are, to try and beat Tipperary, because obviously they're a tremendous team, and what an epic game we're going to have again the next time we meet.
A brilliant second half, Jared. 2 marvellous goalkeepers, but David Fitzgerald doing both things, saving and scoring the penalty.
Listen, there's no point in saying, but we were really lucky to escape today, and Davy was the man that really saved us. You know, he was on top of his form when other players were struggling. Davy kept his concentration, made brilliant saves, scored the penalty, and very easy for the boys to decide who the man of the match was, I think. Well, Liam Cahill, of course, had a fantastic game for Tipperary as well.
And what about the talk during the week? You've been listed this all week that Clare were so far ahead, the favourites to win the game. Perhaps there'll be a few more comments passed before the replay next Saturday.
Exactly, you know, because you can't pay any heed to what happens in the week before the game. It's what happens on the day. Tip knew that, we knew that. and we were really, really lucky to escape today. You know, how we'll do next Saturday is another thing, but we'll make every effort to try and turn the tables the next day.
Just stay with me, Ger, for a moment. Nicky English has now joined us and shaking hands with his counterpart. Nicky, what an incredible second half.
Yeah, it was a great game, you know. It was always going to be that, and at the end of the day, with people that have another game, you know, hurling is a great game when it's played like that, and there's a lot of bullshit written about hurling, but that's what you saw out there today is the game, you know.
And two unbelievable performances by the goalkeepers, your keeper and Ger's.
Yeah, it was like at the end of the day, both teams were prepared. They knew there was going to be a battle, and it would be no different next week, you know.
What about the actual finish of the game? Your heart must have been in your mouth. The penalty, incredible finish.
Yeah, well, that's the way hurling is, you know. We've been involved in games like that all our lives, so not going to change, you know.
Finally, Gerlock, now you're looking forward to it. Presumably it'll be next Saturday, and it will be here again.
Obviously, we'll have to improve from today because, as I said, we were so lucky to get out of it. But what a game! As Nicky has said there, you know, the game of hurling is such a fantastic game when it's played like that. I mean, that was breathtaking stuff there in the second half, and part two, as I said, is to come. I think it's next Saturday, Nicky, is it?
I don't know,
it's next week.
We thought we'd finish it today.
I know.
Gentlemen, your teams have provided great entertainment. Thank you very much.
Very good.
That's a fair point by Nicky English. He wasn't bothered when there was going to be a replay, of course. Oh, what a fantastic game that was. I mean, if you wrote a script for that, people wouldn't believe it. The body language, Cyril, at the end, I think, said it all.
Yeah.
Nicky, a little bit disappointed in the interview, I think, and that's obvious. They thought they had the game won.
Yeah, Tipperary played well enough to win the game. They will feel honestly very, very disappointed. And as Ger said, like Clare got out of jail. They got 2 goals, and like they weren't really playing well up front, but they're very, very determined, and like just don't give in without a fight. And like Davy Fitzgerald off a fantastic save from Paul Shelley, brought it out, and then went up and got scored the penalty. But like overall, I'd say Tipperary would be very disappointed. But like again, going back to the 2 boys there was a lot of hype going into the game. Yeah. To be fair, it was played as a game should be played honest and hard and fair. And like a game of hurling, you can't just quantify what a game is going to go. Yeah. And I was delighted because my half point is still there. So I
still wasn't even a half point in the end. Tomas, you said during the second half, we were talking about the game here, you thought Tipperary actually going to pull away from Clare.
Yes, they looked at one stage during the second half. They went 3 points, maybe 4 points ahead, and they missed 1 or 2 opportunities after that to put the game beyond their reach. And it looked as if Nicky had made the right substitutions. They came on and scored. Eddie Tucker got a point, and they looked to be pulling away. But you have to give credit to Clare. They came back, and I mean, we said at half time that maybe there was too much bunching in that first half period, but the second half opened up, and it was a fantastic advertisement for the game of hurling. Superb, right to the finish.
There's some spirit in that Clare team, isn't there?
There is, without a doubt, you know, and I mean, it just shows that the game isn't over until the final whistle. And I mean, Davy Fitz, a lot of courage to come up from a goal line to take a penalty shot like that. And I suppose at the end of the day, Nicky has said it all. They'll probably be disappointed in today's result, but I mean, they showed a lot of Tipperary people that they're back, and certainly we'll look forward to the next day as well.
Well, lads, I think we need a little break for a cup of tea or a glass of water or even a pint of Guinness if we could get our hands on one after all that. We're back with more analysis of this match, plus our man of the match selection after this break.
If you've never experienced the thrill of Mach 3, it's wake-up time. Introducing Mach 3, the first triple blade shaving system from Gillette. 3 blades positioned to shave progressively closer. You take 1 stroke, it takes 3, so you don't have to shave over and over, which means less irritation. 3 blades, fewer strokes, less irritation. Mach 3 from Gillette.
Hey kid, it's your big break.
Have a big break. Have a new Kit Kat Chunky.
New Nivea Sun Spray. It's surprisingly light.
The one to watch, winner of 5 Academy Awards, Tom Hanks, Saving Private Ryan. Rent the video now.
Sorry I'm late. What a day.
It's all right, don't worry about it.
I think I'll have the Cajun chicken. Yeah, just reading it gives me heartburn.
Here, have one of these.
Pepsid.
Pepsid AC, when you love food and hate heartburn. 1 tablet can stop it before it really starts. Ask your pharmacist.
So that me. Ready to order, sir. Is your Cajun chicken spicy? Yes. Good. I'll have that.
You can be heartburn-free with Pepsid AC.
Can your camera take 3 different picture sizes whenever you want? Is your film as easy to load as this? And are your favorite pictures as easy to find as this? Kodak Advantix cameras, a great way to take pictures and share pictures from only $39.99.
Midwest Tiles, the one-stop shop for timber floors, bathroom suites and quality tiles. Now open at the Lisbon Centre, Tuam Road, Galway.
The Enna Supply Company stocks an extensive range of bathroom suites and shower units. With over a quarter of a century's experience, the Enna Supply is the best place to buy.
Thanks to our new floating widget, you can now get a perfect head from a can.
Magpie Magazine, your essential guide for what to do and where to go in the west of Ireland. Available nationwide.
Welcome back again. So we're all off to Páirc Uí Chaoimh next Saturday for the replay between Clare and Tipperary. A look now at the statistics from this afternoon's match and see what they tell us in the final analysis. The score will be first, and those 2 second-half goals, that's second goal for Clare, if you like. The important score in all of that, 2-12 to 18 points. 13 frees to Clare, 10 for Tipperary. Clare had 12 wides and Tip had 9, 365s in the match. And look at those last 2 statistics, which I think are very, very important. In all of the hype, as Nicky English said, and the build-up to this game, and people talking about skin and hair flying, no yellow cards and no red cards, and I think a word of congratulations to both teams, and also indeed to Dickie Murphy on the way he handled that match. Now, another reminder, if you want to talk about this match or indeed any of the other games that are being played today, the Football Championship obviously in full flight as well, the Pat Spillane's Monday feedback. The lines are open from 7 until 11 tonight, and the numbers to call are 1850 200 620, or if you're ringing from the north, it's 0845 309 8117. And you can also email Pat at sundaygame@rte.ie. Cyril Farrell, what do you think people will be ringing in Pat Spillane about mostly from that game? I suppose complimenting it for being a wonderful game to start off.
Yeah, well, sure, Pat really loves hurling as well. We were always reminded like that hurling is the game, you know, the big game. But like a game like that, as you said, like it's very interesting there. The statistics, no yellow cards, no red cards. Dickie Murphy was common sense. He talked to the fellas with a little bit of edginess, and there was bound to be that, and there will be the next day. And like there's a lot of talk about the rules. You have to use common sense as well. And like that was a great advertisement there, like for hurling and for the J in particular. Second half, fantastic. Once Clare got the goal to equalise, when Tip got the 3 points up, the whole game opened, and it was anyone's game. I would still think like that, you know, Tip will be, you know, on the overall 70 minutes will feel that they should have won that game.
Having gotten out of jail, there's one or two ways of looking at this thing now, Tomas. Either Clare will go forward from here out of this game, or Tip will say, well, we should have done it the last day, and that they will up the thing. So, I mean, really, it's all back into the melting pot again for next Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, and I'm sure there's not going to be too much separated teams again next Saturday. I mean, Clare coming into this game, it was their first game. I mean, Tip had the advantage of a championship, even a championship game under their belts. They've played a lot more competitive games, even winning the league final against Galway. If they're good exercise in their build-up, their preparation for this game, Clare didn't have the advantage of that. So they were probably coming in there a little bit stale as regards to championship hurling. I mean, having not played since last year. But I mean, at the end of the day, as Cyril said, I think Tipperary will be very disappointed. They had a match won at that stage in the game, you know, and to concede the penalty, it was unfortunate on their behalf, but you've got to give credit to Clare on the other side. They came back very, very strong. I thought for at one stage in the second half that they were out of the game completely because they were struggling up front in lots of ways, and maybe one or two switches that Gerlach made, you know, at the end of the game, towards the end of the game, bring on the likes of Conor Clancy, made a difference around the square. But certainly they didn't strike me as if they were going to score too many points in the second half, but they certainly got out of jail. The funny thing about it, Cyril, is Clare may have shaken off this Biddy Early curse and all that, but it just seems to be their destiny now to be involved in all these dramas in the championship. I mean, from last summer, it's continuing again now.
Yeah, but it's on the pitch and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, like, even if they got beaten today, you have to recognise what Ger Lucknan and his mentors have done to lift Clare hurling and Clare people. Like, you know, if you said 15 years ago that Clare were going to win, you know, a couple of All-Ireland titles and a couple of Munster finals, everyone would laugh at you. Now, like, it's considered like they are the strong power of Munster as such, and everyone's out to beat them. And like, they've put the realms of, say, the training in a kind of a new context, and we hear of Tipperary doing different things during the week as well. Like, but it's all to play for. I think Tip will improve as well.
Yeah.
That was their first real championship. Their backs were very, very good. Caught a bit at cornerback. You know, it'd be interesting what he does for next week. Like, Nicky is a good psychologist. You'd wonder, Declan Carr might come into the pitch for next weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if he started. And you know, they'll probably rejig their attack. Young Kelly, he's a very good player. Didn't get much of a move today. Like, I don't know whether they'll start or not next day, but he has a lot of stuff to play with, and they're very, very young. They're coming. Whereas Clare have still, it's the same fellas, and you begin to wonder how many times can you go back to the pot.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at this second half then, Tomas, and see how it evolved. And the first significant thing was at the beginning of the second half, Tip got 2 very quick points, and that was laying down the marker.
Yes, I mean, Ken Hogan said just before half-time in his interview that they needed to start the second half quickly and get some scores. And here we see John Lahey picking it up over to Brian O'Mara. And I mean, it's a great effort by himself. He was unlucky in the second half. Maybe he had 1 or 2 opportunities that he should have scored from. Obviously in the first half as well, he had 1 or 2 bad wides, but it was a great start to the second half. Here we see again another point by Paul Shelley. This time shows great hurling skill to get around Brian Lohan, and a tremendous save by David Fitzgerald. But I mean, a great start to the second half from Tipperary, and they went from strength to strength in that second half. And the likes of Paul Shelley caused an awful lot of trouble for Brian Lohan in the full-back area, and you must give credit to him as well.
Sure. Well, then we had the situation, Tip were tactically and territorially on top, sir. They got a chance of a goal, which Davy Fitz deflected, and of course, as sure as eggs was eggs, it ended up in the net the other side.
Yeah, well, you see, the thing is like that, Tipperary are well on top, and like, you know, here's the ball coming in here now. Brian O'Mara cuts right through. Like, he's facing up, he kind of mishits. Here he comes now. Just kind of shuffled off the ball. Now Davy Fitz does very well. Not content just to clear, he goes out the field, he'll lose his cap, we're going to strike off the hurl. Now out of this, Clare down 3 points, but here's see what's going to happen. It's vital what happens here. Colin Lynch had a great game, and that's Liam Dry, going to hit it. Colin Lynch actually had a great game, long stroke up along here. And this is the goal really that brought Clare back into the game. Gilligan makes the long legs, makes a lovely hand pass across here, and James had a quiet game, sticks that on his left side. Brendan Cummins, who played actually very well, had a brilliant game, as good as David Fitz, could do nothing about that. Gilligan picks it on speed, like me, he's very fast. Good hand pass out here, James gets it over to his left, and sticks it into the far corner. Nothing anyone can do, and it brings Clare back into the game. They've been 3 down, next in their level again.
Yeah. Tip brought in Eddie Tucker in the second half, and he scored a point that I thought was significant to us, because it actually put Tip 2 points up instead of being a point up along the way. I thought this is where Tip might have won it.
Yes, and all the way through, I mean, the Tip forwards have looked very threatening, and they've got some excellent scores from play. Here we see Eddie Tucker on a great solo run and ready to strike. I mean, it's a great point when you're coming in as a substitute like that to get a point like that in your Munster Championship debut. Great score, great boost to the team, and Tipperary at that stage looked to be comfortable and would win by maybe 5 or 6 points at that stage.
Yeah, and of course, Cyril, you couldn't have guessed what was going to happen right at the end of the match. I mean, there was only one way that Clare were going to get out of jail in this one.
Yeah, we're just saying here to Tomas, like, they're going to have, there's only one that they're going to do it, and that will be a goal if it's ever going to come at all. Now again, it's inspired substitute. Conor Clancy catches and he takes on here and he goes right through. Now, you know, there wasn't room to swing. I thought he was going to kick the ball, and then you couldn't get the tip back.
Was it a fortunate penalty?
Well, he knew what he was doing. He was going to drive in at it, like, you know, and you know, he used to be a centre forward.
It could be a debatable one as a situation. He seemed to maybe have an opportunity to strike first, but he didn't, and maybe it could be ruled out for maybe a bit of overcarrying. But
penalty or not, like when Davy Fitz came up, Davy is confident. Doesn't matter if he's playing hurling or golf, and like, he's the one man that should bet on that he'd score, and he sticks it into it. You know, like, even if he didn't score it, he'd feel confident like that. He'd be saying, well, look at the forwards, you're here all day and you're not scoring. I have to come up and show you how. He's the one player that you put your money on that would get that.
I'll tell you, as soon as he ran up the pitch, I had no doubt whatsoever in my mind that it was going to end up in the back of the net. So, well, Ger Lucknan made one suggestion for man of the match, but we do now come to our naming of the man of the match. Right, Tomas, you can name the man of the match from this one.
Okay, I mean, it's obviously a difficult job to pick a man of the match in a game like today, but I certainly would look at David Kennedy being man of the match. I think he got in his first championship game at centre-back, he gave a tremendous performance. I think over the 17 minutes, I think every one of the Clare forwards were actually on top of him at centre-back position, and he had a tremendous game over 17 minutes for his first championship match. So credit goes to him. He gave a very solid performance. But I mean, again, it's very difficult in a game like today. I mean, you had some tremendous performances all over the field. Colin Lynch was brilliant at midfield for Clare. Both goalkeepers, I know Gerlach Nan got his plug in for Davy Fitzgerald, but both goalkeepers deserve great credit. Breda Cremons was absolutely superb again in that entire game. So Colin Lynch, you had like Tommy Down kicking in with 7 or 8 points, you know. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, we've got to pick somebody. If we pick David Kennedy.
Okay, right, gentlemen, we're going to switch our focus of attention just for the moment and show you some of the other action that's on today, because of course there were important matches in the football championship. Now, coverage of these games are on later on tonight in our Sunday game programme, so if you don't want to see the result of these matches, then look away or go and make that cup of tea for the moment, because we're going to pick up the story Meath and Wicklow, what happened in that one.
This match here in Croke Park was by all means a lacklustre, dull encounter, dominated by several talking points, none more so than Tommy Dowd's goal flick, which set them on the road to victory. Indeed, Meath had to play all of the second half with 14 men after Hank Traynor was sent off for a second bookable offence. But the real talking point was the performance of Graham Geraghty, the captain of full forward, scoring a goal and 4 points in a match indeed that Wicklow will be wondering what exactly went wrong, as everything they tried seemed to fail. Meath, the Royal County, outsiders at the start, now seem to be on their way to another Leinster Championship success, perhaps. A long road to go, but today at least they achieved victory on a full-time score of 2 goals and 10 points to Wicklow's 6 points.
Now we're going to give you the scores of the day in the championships, both in the hurling and in the football. Again, I remind you, if you don't want to see these, if you want to watch our later programme and still be kept in suspense, then look away, because the score is coming up on the screen right now. Now, that's the end of the results sequence, and you can see the results of all the weekend's games on the pages of Airtel. The inter-county results are on page 240, and the club results are on page 560. Now, on the Sunday game tonight, a roundup of the rest of the day's big matches, including Meath versus Wicklow, Dublin versus Louth, Donegal against Armagh, and London against Galway. And a final reminder about Pat Spillan's feedback slot on the game on Monday. Now, Pat will be going through your phoned comments. Here are the numbers: 1850 200 620, and the number from the north is 0845 309 8117. And you can also email Pat sundaygame@rte.ie. Now, those telephone lines are open at 7 o'clock, and they will remain open until 11 tonight. Now, just a word about our face in the crowd. Our cameras focused in on one person at one of today's matches, and we'll be showing that person on our later programme, so watch out for that. OK then, well, that's all to come tonight, but for now, well, there was no victory, was there, today in the Munster Championship? It all has to be done again next Saturday. However, for the moment, it's time to say goodbye. My thanks to Tomás and to Cyril, and indeed to you. Please do join me later on for more excitement and action in the Sunday game at 9:30. Till then, bye-bye.